Once you see it, it doesn't seem like he's being so genuine anymore, does it? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sam. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I am so happy to have you here again with me this week for all of the shenanigans. I hope you guys are ready for this one. If you are new here and this is the first time you are seeing my face, welcome. I make weekly videos dissecting internet nonsense, so if you're into that type of thing, or you like today's video, I hope that you'll consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out the channel and make sure you never miss another upload from me. Now I know y'all saw the thumbnail when you clicked. I know you click fast, but I also know that you still saw that thumbnail. And what I need you to know, what you probably already recognize, is your girl sat through an hour and a half plus of Nikocado Avocado and his recent antics. Please say a prayer for the brain cells I lost listening to the food chewing and the finger sucking noises, just so you wouldn't have to, but so we could still talk about this together here on the channel today. If you are unaware, or if you're like me and you consciously avoid Nikocado Avocado, you may not know that recently he uploaded two pretty dramatic videos, one titled, "I am no longer," ... and the other titled simply, "Bye." And the thing is, I've seen little bits of coverage. I was reading Nick's comments as I was watching these videos, and for some reason, people seem to believe that this is Nick letting us see who he really is. Breaking apart that facade, that character, that villain that he's created with his multiple channels. He has 5 of them, by the way, if you didn't know. But for some reason, people think this is Nick really letting us in and seeing who he really is. But I don't think that's true at all. I think we're getting classic Nikocado Avocado for the majority of these videos. In the first video, "I Am No Longer," Nick opens the video telling his audience that he's been crying all night and that he's genuinely upset by his life and his life choices and where he's ended up so far. And at first I was like, oh, okay, this is why people think we're getting a look behind the facade. Maybe we really are. And then, while he's talking about something where he wanted to come off so genuine and serious and not in character, this man chose to zoom in on his double chin while he was talking. Not once, but twice in the first minute. While he's trying to open this very serious video, did he do this?
It's one of those days, everyone. By the way, this is not a pre-recorded video before everyone accuses me. I know I look extra skinny because that's my identity. No, but I am serious. I cried all night last night and I said, you know what? I'm this close to giving up. And here's the deal, everyone. Everyone hates me. Yes, there's nice comments from time to time, but do you see the crap people say about me everywhere around the internet? Do you see the comments that I receive from most people? You're fat, you're gross, you're disgusting, no one likes you. You're mean to Orlin, you don't have anything, you're poor, you're gross. You haven't eaten it, you have these mental disorders. And I'm just not okay. And I said, I just want to eat because, you know, that's one of the only things that does make me happy. And maybe I do have a problem. Maybe I do have something. I don't know. I just share my life. I just come on here, I share my life, and it's just never good enough.
When I first saw this, I actually paused and backed the video up to make sure that I was seeing what I was seeing. And it was there, and he did it more than once, which immediately snapped me out of this "he's going to show us the real him" thing. Because this right here is classic Nikocado Avocado. Now, before we get too far into the reasons why I do not think Nick is really opening up to us here, but rather still playing his same character, I just want to point out that these videos are almost exact carbon copies of each other, just posted on 2 different channels. Because Nick, again, has up to 5 channels. So throughout both videos, he is essentially saying the same exact things over and over and over again, while either swooning over his food or crying over his food. But the thing that seems to be really bothering Nick is that somewhere on the platform, another creator called him the worst YouTuber ever. And he goes back to this again and again and again in both of these videos, which again were both 40+ minutes long.
the other day. I didn't actually watch it. I saw the title. I stopped watching a lot of things out there because it literally makes me want to jump off a bridge. I'm being serious. But it was like the worst YouTuber on the platform, or like the worst manipulate. Like, what? I just eat food. Like, and you know, you have all these other influencers selling people Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and selling people tickets to events that they don't even show up for. I'm the worst. And do you want to know why I'm so upset? The amount of videos people make of me saying that I'm the worst. There's a YouTuber that made a video calling me the worst YouTuber. People calling me disgusting. People saying I should be deplatformed. People making videos that I'm the worst YouTuber on this platform. The worst. Getting millions of views too. I'm the worst. Not the people that scam their audience, sell them things that break, sell them, you know, like, oh, buy my cryptocurrency and then there's no cryptocurrency, or buy my tickets to my tour and then they don't show up and don't do refunds, or buy my makeup and it's like expired or something, or it's like overpriced. Yeah, but I'm bad because I gained a little bit of weight, or I overate, or whatever I did.
And there's something I want to point out here after hearing him talk about why it bothers him so much to be called the worst YouTuber ever. And that, firstly, is that Nick has been on YouTube for 8 years. He says it in one of these 2 videos. He's been doing this for almost a decade. And within his little spiels here, he's pretending like he doesn't understand that thumbnails and titles sometimes need to be a little extreme, need to be exaggerated, or need to be hyperbole to get people to click on them. He knows that YouTube is a game and that you have to make your titles and thumbnails a little bit outrageous to get people to click on them. He's been doing that on his channel for years, but now suddenly 8 years in, while he's breaking character, we're expected to pity him because another creator did that exact same thing to get views on their channel. Even worse though, every single time he brings this up in both videos, he mentions that there are other YouTubers who have done worse things, like selling people cryptocurrency and then dumping their own so that they make millions of dollars off their audiences, selling people moldy lipsticks, selling people tickets to a con and then canceling it and not giving people refunds. He's essentially implying these people are worse, but they're not getting videos made about them, and they're not getting called out, and they're not getting called the worst YouTubers on the platform. I would argue that those people are getting called out, the same if not more than Nick, and that they also have audiences who either watch them because they like them or hate watch them. Welcome to the internet, Nick. This isn't a new thing for creators, and Nick isn't new. He's been here for a while, but we're expected to believe that this is just now bothering him. Perhaps the thing that stuck out to me the most, though, that I've not seen anyone else talking about, at least not at the time that I'm filming this, is that this could be Nick directly poking fun at Amberlynn Reid, which is something that he regularly does on his channel. And this would be more subtle than what he normally does on his channel when he's poking fun at her. But this is classic Amberlynn Reid. When she is called out for something, rather than reflect on her own actions, what she typically does is pick up the camera, make a vlog where she's talking at her audience, saying there are people who have done worse things than me, and they don't get as much hate as I do, or they don't have people talking about them, or they don't have reaction channels the way that I do. Once I made that connection, it was fully clear to me that this is not the real Nick. This is not Nick being genuine. This is the same character we've been seeing on Nick's channel for years. And this isn't the only time he sprinkles in shade at Amberlynn Reid, which again just solidifies my opinion that this is him poking fun at her, even if it's more subtle than normal, because he included 2 classics.
I'm actually starving.
I'm actually starving.
Orbit! You snitch! Walmart, Walmart, Walmart.
Then later, he also subtly mentions that he's lost 89 pounds. And while it's clear that Nick has lost weight, you can see it in his face in his video, is it actually 89 pounds, or is this yet another subtle jab at Amberlynn Reid?
411 pounds. I recently lost 89 pounds.
I went all the way down to 331, so I lost 89 pounds. I ate fried rice when I lost 89 pounds before, because that's exactly how I felt years ago when I lost the 89 pounds.
He also played into this.
If only you knew. If only you knew. If only you knew. And you don't know. That's the thing. You don't even know. That's fine. I haven't told you. I haven't told you everything that I'm battling in my head and battling in real life and battling with my family and battling with my friends and battling with my relationship and battling with my finances. My finances suck.
Which is another classic Amberlynn Reid move to tell her audience that there's something so serious going on behind the scenes that nobody could understand. And while she's going to vaguely mention it, she just doesn't have time to talk about it right now, or it's too hard to talk about. Things of that nature. I think the final one for me, where I was like, really? Is this really happening? Did he really do this? Was when he said this.
Shoot, I could pick up dance. You guys know I used to compete in dance. I have so many trophies and first gold medals from dance. Like, I have a background in the arts like you wouldn't even know.
Because this is another classic Amberlynn Reid, right? She was good at choreography and won so many dance awards.
I was a dancer. To me, the dancing part is more like closer to my heart because I was in love with dancing. I honestly thought I was gonna make a career of it. I choreographed, I hate that word. I choreographed dances for myself to do talent shows, which I won every single one I ever did. I choreographed dances for other people. I know, right? So insane. So they could do them at talent shows. And they won, first places. They did, won second places and stuff like that.
Once you see it, it doesn't seem like he's being so genuine anymore, does it? The other argument he makes over and over again is this one.
What? I just eat food.
Or, similarly, this one.
Yeah, but I'm bad because I gained a little bit of weight, or I overate, or whatever I did.
And he has to know that that's not true, right? Like, he has to know that that's not true because we can see his content and we remember him openly causing drama with other creators like Stephanie Sue and Trisha Paytas. He's also used his channel and his villain character that he's created to mock DV, but also mental health issues. And he is still actively using his platform to do just that, even to this day. For me, it's that in both videos, he gets so close to reason, specifically when he's talking about the ways that YouTube has punished him as a creator.
And hoping I get paid from it, because the YouTube gods strike me down 3 years ago. And it's never improved. And I'm at a point where you can't keep betting on the dying horse. You just can't. It doesn't make sense. And in my stupid mind, it's like, it will change, it'll get better. Oh, if I pump out more content, oh, maybe if I collab with more people who are better, this and that. I'm not liked.
But instead of listening to what YouTube was actually saying to him, or reflecting on his own actions and the things that he's been doing on his channel, he decided to just double down into that insanity and continue to create really gross content like this, or this, or this. And he admits to doing this even after YouTube gave him a family-friendly warning about his channel. And rather than reflecting and realizing, oh, maybe I shouldn't have doubled down and continued to do things that were so gross on my channel, he just acts like YouTube is punishing him for no reason. And worse for me is that he keeps playing this woe is me character in both of these videos, telling his audience that he hasn't made any money and that everyone hates him.
I wonder what goes through my supporters, which there's very few of them, What goes through your heads when you see people say I'm the worst YouTuber ever? Do you ever say to yourself, what did he do to anyone? Am I the only one saying this to myself? I know I don't really have that many supporters, and most people watch me to hate watch me. I know, I get it. It's been like this for years. But the few out there, all 10 of you, all 20 of you, what goes through your head when you see what people say about me? A manipulator, greedy, abusive, poor Orlin, a mean, degrading, oh, no virtues, greedy for money, and If people are actually knew what I actually made, I think people would be shocked. I know they would be. I know they would be, because I've talked to other YouTubers. I've literally shown them. Here's my payment for this month. I literally, the last YouTuber I collabed with, I was like, this is what I made for the year. This is what I made for my lifetime on this channel. And they were like, what? I'm like, yeah. I am not advertiser friendly. It's been that way. I accept it. But it's just like, I'm at a point where it's, why do I go through this? Battling with my relationship and battling with my finances. My finances suck. The worst part is, it wasn't even worth it. I barely made any money. And the money I did make, I lost.
And can I tell you what this made me think of right away? Was Shane Dawson, circa 2018, 2019, in the midst of all the makeup drama when he was doing those videos with Jeffree Star and telling everyone how poor he was and how no one liked him? I'm going to play you some clips right now, and you tell me in the comments if you think these clips have the same energy.
Thinks I'm not funny enough or not rich enough, I don't know. Take my used Jeep and go over to Jeffree's house to see his hot pink everything. Everything inside of it is worth more than our lives. So,
That's a Rita.
yeah, like a big fancy Mexican restaurant. I am poor.
Because for me, it's really hard to take Nick seriously when you think about the fact that contextually, he's sitting in front of potentially $100 worth of food, making a video he claims to hate while sitting in his very cozy mansion. Because after listening to Nick for as long as I did, I think what I realized and why it was so hard for me to be overly sympathetic to Nick's issues here are because the truth is, if he was really being honest with us, and if he was really unhappy making this content, and if people were really so mean to him and he wasn't making any money off of it, he wouldn't be doing it. He would have walked away. But he didn't. He's still playing the same game. He's still playing the same character. He still bought all of that food to sit down in 2 different seatings and film 2 40-minute plus videos to edit and upload onto 2 different channels. Now, remember I said I didn't think he was being real in a majority of these 2 videos, but I do think there are 2 spots where we do actually see Nick break character and give us some genuine emotion, and he's really showing us how he feels in these 2 moments. And both of them are actually in the second video, just titled Bye. The first is in the first 10 minutes when he tells us this.
I'm suffering. And you know what? You know what the worst part is? The worst part is I have an escape route that I'm so afraid to take it. I'm so afraid to take it.
And I just paused at this moment and just wrote down, I hope Nick gets help. Because the truth is, sometimes we all struggle, and he shouldn't feel ashamed asking for help, even though he's put himself in this situation and created this character, like he's carefully crafted it. Sometimes we do regret decisions that we make, and sometimes we do feel trapped. And if that is genuinely how he's feeling, I hope that he will talk to someone about that. The second was at the end of the video when he moved his camera, he made it a little more of an intimate setting, and he actually told a story about a fond memory he had from his time in New York.
And we were on that balcony and we were just, it was nighttime and we were surrounded with a wall of lights. And they weren't your green and purple and blue, red, flashy like Times Square, lots of different things and projectors and movie screens. It was just like residentials and office buildings, and we were surrounded with a wall of lights. Like you're in the middle of the sea. You're in the middle. And I will never forget that we were standing there and it looked so beautiful to me. And again, we were talking about music and the guy was talking about his shows and this and that. And all three of us, I forget who started, it might have been the guy whose name I forget, but he was just like, I'm so grateful to be standing here with you two gentlemen. I'm so grateful.
And watching this, it's easy to see that this did really mean something to him, and that maybe he is struggling with where he was and where he is now. But here's the thing. Nick created this life for himself. He actively chose the path that he is on, and as I mentioned, for the majority of these two videos, he is still very much on that path, refusing to break that character and to break that villain, even if it is causing him to struggle. He's still actively choosing it. And I believe the reason he thought that YouTube would be a fun career and a fun way to provide for his family were because when he first started, this is not the style of content he was making. He was making light-hearted vlog style videos with really beautiful camera shots, really beautiful scenery. It was a lot of laughter, a lot of love, and it was really light-hearted. Nick chose to change his content. Nick chose to brave leaving the vegan community. He changed his content. He dealt with their toxicity when they came at him for changing his content. He created the perfect villain, and he profited heavily off this change. If Nick is truly unhappy, he is the only person who can change the trajectory of his life. Nick is a talented person. He's good at film, he's good at editing, he's got a theater background, which makes him really good at storytelling. He has so much to offer, and he has the skills and the means to change his content and to change his life if that's what he wants to do. And I think for me, this would have been more believable from him if he had maybe cut the theatrics, not gone back to the formula that he knows, just sat down and told us, I'm unhappy and I need a change, and then made that change. In my opinion, this is Nick continuing to play the algorithm. He is trying to stir up drama, get people to interact with the video more, and comment, maybe asking him to stay, have people be overwhelmingly positive and support for him, which will just push his content further. He knows exactly what he's doing, and in my opinion, until he just straight up changes his content or leaves the internet, to me, this is Nick just continuing to farm content for his 5 channels. Alright, that is all I have for you all today. At this point, I'm curious to know what you think. Do you think that Nick is actually contemplating leaving the platform, or do you think he's just farming for sympathy? What do you think about him openly saying that his audience hates him while simultaneously talking about how much he hates his audience? Do you think he was genuine, or do you think this was his character? What do you think about him poking fun at Amberlynn Reid? Did you flag that before I pointed it out? Did you catch some that I missed? Because I'm sure there are some that I missed. As always, you will have to let me know in the comment section down below. You know I love to read your opinions because you all always come so prepared You always have so much to say, and I love reading it, so please leave it for me down below. And for all my introvert friends out there who may not feel comfortable leaving your opinion in an internet comment section, I see you, I feel you. Go ahead and leave me some sort of food emoji this week, because I love seeing your emojis just as much as I love reading those opinions. As always, thank you all so much for being here with me this week. I will see you in the next one. Bye!